Today, we are celebrating good news, and I'm here with influencer Tank Sinatra. He's the biggest name in spreading good news online. And in just a second, I want to talk to you about your latest account that within 3 weeks has 1 million followers that's making fun of influencers and influencer culture. But I want to just go back and talk a little bit about memes. And here's why. This show really unpacks the deeper meaning behind things. Mm-hmm. And I also love talking about positive psychology. Why do you think memes have become so damn popular in our culture?
I think comedy in any form is always going to be attractive to people and sell and get people's attention. I think that right now people are so in their phones, for better or for worse. It's not, I'm not judging it. It just is what it is. Like, people are in their phones.
Yep.
So it's a form of comedy that you can digest on your own time, in your own space, in your own way. You can look for 2 hours, or you can look for 2 minutes when you're on the train or at work. Not at work, but...
Unless your job really blows.
Exactly.
And then that's what you do to get through the day.
But I think that it makes everyone feel like they're all in on an inside joke.
Oh, that's true. It is like an inside joke.
Which everybody loves. So it's more relatable.
It makes you feel connected to something bigger.
Because somebody is expressing your innermost thoughts and making it funny. And you go, oh, this person who I've never met somehow understands how my brain works. And that makes you feel good.
So you recently launched my new favorite page.
Yeah, mine too.
Which is Influencers in the Wild. What was the idea behind this thing?
I was in L.A. for this thing that I was doing. And I went to go to Griffith Park, which is like a famous tourists, picture-taking, hiking, whatever. And I was coming out of a trail, and I saw a girl climbing up on a tree to get a picture, but, not in a safe way and not in a way that, was even necessary at all. The tree was, the limb was, 5 feet off the ground. I was like, you could just stand next to it. You don't have to do this. But she wanted something unique for her followers. And I was like, man, I wish there was an account dedicated to this. And then I was like, I know how to make an Instagram account, I think. And then a week later I started, and then it didn't pick up right away. And then I posted about it once from Tank Sinatra. And that's it. I mean, for me, it feels one of the funniest hater comments that I get, or trolls that I get, is on Influencers in the Wild, where people will be like, this page used to be good. Back when I first started following it, he posted funny. I'm like, it's less than a month old. It's like when my son, my 7-year-old, goes, when I was younger, I used to, you're 7, you're young still. There is no younger for you.
Well, let me show you a post that I really love. This one right here of this woman getting the perfect Zen moment. So now, is this stuff you find, or are people submitting this and making fun of themselves?
Yeah, people submit it to me. It's been unbelievable.
So how do you collect this stuff?
With just grabbing it. There's so much of it out there. Every time I start an account, Tank's Good News, I worried, am I going to run out of good news? And then I eventually realized, that's just not going to happen. So with this, I was like, man, I have so much stuff to post. I hope I don't run out of stuff. I have, thousands of unread emails, and I read hundreds a day getting through this stuff. There's just so much of it, and it's global, and it's visual, and you don't need to speak English to be able to submit something. It's just it happens everywhere. In Prague, if we were on Mars, 1,000% people would be taking selfies of them with the Earth behind them.
Oh,
to post on Instagram. So it's just an interesting phenomenon.
Oh, look at this one. This one on the beach. Everybody is now a supermodel.
Yeah.
So tell me about this one.
So that one, the captions do add to it a lot. So this caption was, Wicked Game by Chris Isaac plays softly in the background.
That's hilarious.
And you got to be a little bit older to understand that, but it's the captions contextualize it. I don't know, some guy just was feeling sexy, and he wanted to, get his buddy to take a picture of him.
Yes, for his followers, right? Like, you know what's interesting is that I remember when cell phones first came out, I'd be out to dinner with my mom, and if somebody near us pulled out their phone,
oh my God,
I would start to brace because my mom would literally go, I can't stand going out to dinner and like say it loud enough.
Yeah.
If you need to have a phone call, go somewhere else. And now it's become everybody turning their meals into a photo shoot.
Oh, yeah.
And so I love the fact that you are poking fun in a way that makes fun of all of us, because we're all doing this on some level. The other thing that I love that I hope you noticed is that you're now heard 2 instances where Tank had his instincts kicked in. The first one about I want to spread positive news. The second one, like, somebody's got to be documenting this. You start it, and that's where everything starts. Well, up next, guess what? We're bringing one awesome story from Tank's Good News to life. If you found somebody's keys, how far would you go to get them back to the owner? When we come back, you're going to meet a man who definitely went the extra mile. Stay with us. Later, it's a gift she will never forget.
I opened it, and it was utter shock. I was so taken aback. I was speechless. I mean, I couldn't catch my breath because all I've ever wanted was her.
Obsessive bathing. Debilitating rituals.
I feel like a freak.
Inside the minds of people with compulsions ruining their lives.
This is extremely hard for me to talk about.
Must be scary. Thursday on Mel. Today we're celebrating good news, and here with me is social media influencer and the biggest name in good news online, Tank Sinatra. Now, we found this next story on Tank's page. Vincent, a manager at a bagel shop, saved this customer's day when he drove, check this out, 185 miles to return her keys that she left at the shop. So, Vincent, what? Like, first of all, let's go back to the day that this happened. How did you end up with this customer's keys?
I was at work and wound up getting a phone call. Lady asked if her keys were on the counter.
Yep.
And I moved some stuff around and I picked them up and I said, yeah, I got them right here. We closed at 2 o'clock. If you could try to make it back here. If not, just let me know and I'll leave them next door, or something.
Right.
And she said she's in Pennsylvania.
Okay. Yeah, but wouldn't you normally be like, well, I can mail them to you, I can... You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I don't, nobody's ever, I leave stuff all over the place, Vincent. Lots of ADD right here.
Yes, ma'am.
Nobody has ever offered to drive it to me. So how did you, how did it come about that you would drive it to her? Was she panicking on the phone?
Yeah,
Was she crying?
Panicky and worried about, getting to work on Monday and, her kids not going to school and everything like that. And
so wait, how did she get home? How did she get 185 miles away? Was she not the one driving when she stopped at the bagel shop?
Her husband was driving.
Oh, God.
And
so you also know a marriage is on the line.
Yeah.
Because she has left her keys in a different state.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so she's panicking. I left my keys. Oh, my God. You close at 2. I can't get back there. I can't get to work. And so what did you say?
First reaction was, send me the address and I'll drop them off.
I'll drop them off?
Yeah.
Now, is this just in your DNA to do random acts of kindness for strangers, Vincent?
To me, it was just, if it happened to my wife or daughter, I would have wanted it for somebody to do it to them. So, and I believe in one hand washes the other, and good deed done, somebody else will do it to somebody else,
Pay it forward.
Yeah.
I love that you took a moment and thought, if this was my family, if only we all did that in life. You know what I mean? So now I want to go behind the scenes on Tank's Good News. How do you find these stories, Tank?
They're everywhere. You just got to look.
How did you find his story?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Yeah.
Like,
sorry.
just online? That's okay.
Yeah, somewhere. I mean...
So do you literally wake up and you're sitting there in your boxers and you're going through the news all day? Is that kind of what you do to curate all this stuff?
I am fully clothed.
Okay, you're fully clothed.
Yeah, I just go. So I've thought about hiring somebody to find good news for me because it's just like there's so much for me to do, and it's the best part of my day is digging into every mainstream media website has an area for good news, but it's like buried behind the blood and murder and all that kind of stuff. So you just got to look. And I think being from Long Island, this was on News 12, and I think maybe somebody sent this to me.
Gotcha.
And at the time, my wife, I love her. She's a saint. She's amazing. She's the perfect woman.
I hear a butt coming.
Whatever, she takes care of the kids. She's got a lot on her mind. She leaves her keys places. She used to all the time until she got like a ironclad thing for her purse.
You know what I used to do all the time?
Yeah.
I used to leave with my husband's keys.
Yeah,
so I
why
would
not?
get to work, and then I'd get the phone call like, do you have the keys? And I'm like, oh, gosh, sorry.
But those key fobs are dangerous because if you you run out to the car, you got to go back in the house, you need the key for the house, and then you don't need the key to start the car again, so you just forget it.
Right,
I've done it. We've all done it.
You see this, and you're like, this strikes me as something that I can relate to.
I had a similar thing to him. I said, if this happened to my wife or kids, I would want somebody to...
You'd want Vincent right there on the other end of the phone. We all would.
Only.
Vincent.
Yeah.
So, Vincent, when you do good, good comes back. I believe that you experienced it firsthand because you drove 3 hours to drop these keys off to this customer. On the 3-hour drive back, karma saved you because what happened?
I wound up getting pulled over. I do believe it was in Jersey or right at the end of Pennsylvania going.
Oh, let's blame Jersey. Okay,
Yeah,
so you get pulled over in Jersey. And what happens? So it's 2 o'clock in the morning, apparently.
Just about, yeah.
And so what do you say to the police officer?
I told him what I drove to go do.
Did he believe you?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Really?
He thought I was just a crazy lunatic out on the road at 2 o'clock in the morning. Speeding, but I wasn't speeding. I got to make that clear.
Okay.
Definitely wasn't speeding because I couldn't even really see straight. I was so tired. I was afraid of deer jumping out at me.
Yep.
And ruining my car, And what happened was they gave me a thank you note.
A thank you note?
Yeah, the people that...
so you showed the police officer the thank you note?
Yeah, and that got me out of supposedly a speeding ticket.
See? You do good, good comes back to you. I always say that. Well, Vincent, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
The next story we're bringing to life is guaranteed to make you feel really good, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Up next, it's a gift she will never forget.
I was so taken aback. I was speechless. I couldn't catch my breath because all I've ever wanted was her.
You're even making the king of good news a little teary. And later, when you think about the thousands of things you've posted, what's the one story that really sticks with you? Today, we are celebrating good news, and I'm here with social media influencer and the biggest name in good news online, Tank Sinatra. And Letitia and Jensen are following in Tank's footsteps. I want you to take a look at the Christmas gift Jensen recently gave her stepmother, Letitia. It's a gift she will never forget. Take a look.
I always say that you chose me, and now I chose you too.
All right, now, we don't know the context of that, and we're all wondering, okay, you're hugging, but what the heck was the gift? So inside the box was adoption papers, but there's a twist here because it was you, Jensen, asking your stepmother if you could make this official. So tell us what was going on.
So my stepmom has been my stepmom since I was 2, and then her and my dad got divorced 2 years ago. So this was their first Christmas separated.
Oh, wait. So after your stepmom and your dad got divorced, you asked your stepmom if she would legally adopt you?
Yes, so technically she's not my stepmom
that's
anymore.
So cool.
She's my mom, but...
So now, oh my gosh! Okay, I see that you're even making the king of good news a little teary.
Yes,
So
go back to them, please.
Yeah, no, seriously, what's coming up for you? I know that you have a stepdaughter, right?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. People choosing each other is, in the family sense, is just so beautiful. It's not, you know. Because to take care of somebody who's not your biological child, to take care of your own child is, let's be honest, a massive undertaking.